today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable.
Here's how I paint. Acrylic base. Let it dry, then make outlines. Dark brown for the darkest areas. Burnt sienna. Green for the brightest areas and purple for shadows. I know it looks weird, but trust the process. Skin color. Blend. Build up the colors. Use darker colors on the dark purple areas and lighter colors on greenish parts. Brows and hair. Clothes and other details. Finally, give light to it. Done. I did the same process on this other painting too.
I give you my time, but you can't pick up the phone. Life done been so tragical. If only me is on. Try not to be obsessed. I fucked up, oh girl, I know.
I'm filling this big painting with tiny things today, forget-me-nots. They are a little too big. I did look up the measurements, and I still fucked it up. I like drawing and painting flowers. A lot of people hate it, which is understandable, you know?
Duck season is finally here, and I don't mean the hunting kind. I mean the kind where a bunch of nerdy artists spend way too long on a tiny duck painting, hoping for the small possibility that they win the federal duck stamp competition and get to see their painting on a hunting license, which is also the biggest wildlife fundraiser in the US. I've researched the species and the competition and the competitors. I've learned all the rules. I learned how to airbrush. I got a camera and learned about photography. I traveled to a different state, learned how to track pintails, and got as close as I can to get the best pictures possible. I then scoured my photos, picked my favorites, made edits, and composed this collage, which is my composition for my painting. I then made a sketch to work on tone and to get a feel for the scale. I don't do this amount of prep for any other work that I do, but I've got steep competition and big dreams. And I honestly can't wait any longer, so the next step will be starting the painting. I want you to say hi to Teaspoon and Brown. I cannot believe how far we've come, and I hope you stick around to watch me paint season 3 of this journey in the best duck stamp I've ever made.
Never known someone like you.
How the fuck is you light skinned and your girl light skinned, but she had a black baby? You are not the father.
TikTok does like me and my art, but the problem is sometimes it's just not shown to the right people. But guess what? It has fallen on your For You page, so that automatically means that you must love art just as much as me. So can you do me a favor by hitting that share copy link button? Leave a comment on how you feel about this piece, and you might as well follow me because it would
and I know that you're worth it. I can't walk away. Even though we're going through it and it makes you feel alone, just know that I would die for you. Baby, I would die for you. Yeah. The distance and the time between us, it'll never change my mind. 'Cause baby, I would die for you.
I would die for you.
Baby, I would die for you. Yeah.
I'm finding ways to stay concentrated on what I gotta do. Baby, boy, it's so hard on you. And yes, I'm blaming you. And you know
How I draw semi-realistic nose. General width of the nose is one eye apart, but I usually use the width between the eyebrows. By the way, to make straight lines, click here, and then you get these red lines as your guide. You can also move this around. The end of the nose is slightly below the ear. Draw the circles or diamonds as the guide, and then draw these two lines. Add short lines below it, and then also in the middle. Use airbrush to add soft shadows, then use lasso tool to make an egg. God, this is an ugly egg. And back with airbrush to add hard shadows. Erase the middle and fix the side with hard brush. Use dark red for the nostrils. This is to prevent the nose looking bigger than you intended. Man, my camera is kinda shit, isn't it? Add darker shadow below the nose. I like to add purple on the shadow as well. Add lighter color on the side of the nose and also the nose bridge. Now create add layer and apply highlights. Add some blush on top, and if you wanna draw anime noses, just
First of all, I am Vegeta. Second of all, you're not Vegeta. Third of all, you wanna be Vegeta, but you can't be Vegeta because I'm Vegeta.
I know some niggas in Clayco. We trapping on motherfucking B-roll. I was just praying in the window. Niggas in love with flow. Niggas in love with flow.
What's more important, being on TV or some stupid assassination?
Dan, I can't do it alone. Please?
Uh-oh, we're losing him.
So the other day when I did my octopus painting, you know, this one. Well, somebody commented that I should have made the tentacles out of clay, and I like that idea, so I'm gonna do it. I'm sorry I couldn't find the comment, so if that was you, let me know. Anyways, this time I'm gonna use epoxy clay and see if it's any different than the epoxy sculpt. And don't forget to wear protection, because chemical burn is no joke. And now it's time to squish our balls together and mix this clay. So epoxy clay is basically epoxy resin, but in clay form, which is why it's so strong. And it starts to harden in about an hour, but it's not fully hard until 24 hours. Anyways, so I'm coiling on some tentacles here, and I made sure to count this time. I have 8 tentacles, okay? 8. No need to count the tentacles on any other octopus I've ever made, because I've never forgotten one. And if it looks like I forgot one, I didn't. It was hiding if it looks like I forgot one, which I didn't. Anyways, moving on. Now it's time for the suction cups, which I have to be honest is pretty satisfying. I mean, look at that. Ooh, squish, stick, stuck. Stook? Okay, that's not a word, but you get the idea. Lots of suction cups and a coat of paint. I went with blue because water's blue, obviously. Well, I mean, not obviously, because technically water is not blue. It's clear. But come on, work with me. It looks blue. And how am I supposed to make a clear painting? Actually, I could do it on glass. That would be cool. Maybe. But that's not what we're doing right now. We're doing this painting, not glass painting. It's time to focus on this painting, because we're not going to ADD off somewhere like I usually do. And I swear, I'm not just thinking about glass painting now. I'm thinking about this painting and how slow I'm actually going. So let's speed this up, because I know we all have short attention spans. At least I do. If I were to make a glass painting, would I have to seal it with resin? Probably, because otherwise it would like scratch off, right? Ooh, and I can make translucent areas. How would one hang a glass painting? And where do I get the glass? Okay, anyways, back to this painting, because that's what we're doing right now is this painting. And hold up, here's my favorite part. Boop and boop. And what do you guys think? I didn't notice too much difference between the epoxy sculpt and the epoxy clay, but I think if I had more detail, I would have been able to tell the difference. So maybe next time I'll try more detail and see. And let's just check with Edgar what he thinks.
All right, Edgar.
Huh? Did you see that eye roll? Rude.
Please, we don't want to hurt you. Hurt me? You will never hurt me!
Have you tried spray paint art?
I'm feeling untouchable,
All you need
I'm
is
feeling
deep clean water in a spray
untouchable,
bottle.
I'm feeling untouchable, I'm feeling, hey, feeling untouchable, untouchable,